Oh. Good morning, ladies. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Good. I need to submit some things for the record before court here today. I need to get an affidavit I need to put on record. And I need some intel from you ladies. If you don't mind me bearing witness to the signature of the affidavit here. And if you want to witness it and date it.
Just witnessing your signature.
That is correct. You'll obviously have it on file, and there's a number of information I need from you guys.
What information
That
do you
would
need
be
from
for
me?
this one.
You're
So
filing this in the file.
Yep,
Okay.
so you're gonna file, stamp it, time, date, and stamp it as well.
We don't time, our stamp doesn't have a time on it.
That's all right, you can put the time on there via your
Don't tell me how to do
freehand.
my job.
I'm not telling you how to do your job, I'm telling you what I need on that affidavit. I need the time written down because it's important. It's a legal matter. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. Now, what I need from you ladies is I need the court's bond number. I need the bar association number for the county attorney. I need to see the
Wait, there's not a bond for the court. What do you mean by that? What-
the court should absolutely be bonded. They do business. It's a private corporation. These are special proceedings.
You'd have to call the AOC for that then.
The AOC. Well, you give me the number for the AOC.
Do you have that? The AOC, well, I don't know, I never call them.
That's all right. It's completely understandable. Most people are not learned in law and don't ask these questions. So, the AOC would be what?
Administrative Office of the Courts.
Of the courts,
They're
and
under the
that's
Supreme Court in Lincoln.
in Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay,
I've never seen a bond, so I don't know.
right.
I'm
Okay.
under them, so that's where I
Sure.
would guess is where you get it.
Absolutely. So are you independently bonded, and what is your name?
No, Laura,
Laura. Okay. How do you spell that?
Laura,
Laura.
Tyson, Tob,
Tob.
Ia,
Ia.
Ssen,
Ssen. Okay. And your position here in this?
Magistrate.
Magistrate. Wonderful. Okay. And so you again are not independently bonded that you're aware
No,
of.
sir, I'm not.
I would advise you to do so.
Okay.
Not independently bonded.
Would it be Corey Steele's number?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And do you have any identifying numbers as far as an EIN or a TIN number
No,
for
sir.
your working here? Okay. Okay. And then this gal here would be your assistant,
Records clerk.
records clerk. Okay.
Why do you need our names, can I ask?
Well, what's going to end up happening over this racketeering RICO crap that the state perpetrates on the American people, which is absolutely horsepucky, I'm going to file a 3949A with the IRS. I'm going to have this complete entire building ripped apart from the seams for all the violations that occur under USC,
Okay.
Title 18, 42, 241, and 242 along
Well,
with
this
the litany
building
of
is a
others.
county building. I'm a
It's a-
state employee.
Yeah, I know.
So-
It's a private corporation.
So what else do you
And
need?
what you guys do is actually extort
We have
financial-
business to do, so what else do you need?
Okay, so I just need her name, her bond information.
She has none. She's a records clerk.
Okay, so records clerk. Okay, and the name? I'll just write refuse. That's fine. They'll be happy to hear that.
Well, it's public record, I guess. Candy.
Thank you.
Candy.
How do we
Kimple.
spell that?
C-A-N-D-Y.
C-A-N-D-Y.
Kimple. K-I-M-P-L-E.
K-I-M-P-L-E.
Mm-hmm. Right.
P-L-E. Are you independently bonded, ma'am? not independently bonded. And do you have an identification number for working here at this facility? Either one of you ladies? Neither one of you ladies have an independent
We have a state ID number,
But that
but
would
that's
be-
not
that would
public
be
record, and I'm not
perfect.
giving that out, because you can do a lot with my
Oh,
state ID
I
number.
have no intentions of.
You can get it from the
coming
AOC.
I'll just let the IRS handle that. Is there a number to reach you guys at that I can put on this 3949
Our business
form?
number,
Yes, please.
308 2719.
2719. And the address of this particular
Physical or mailing?
physical and mailing.
424 North Colorado.
424 North Colorado. Minden, Nebraska, I would assume.
Yes, but it's P.O. Box 377 as well.
P.O. Box 377.
Right.
Okay. You guys should have on file the judge's oath and his bond. Do you have that today?
I don't have the judge's oath here. This isn't his home office.
Okay.
And we have 3 judges, so
Okay, I understand that, Cheryl. The presiding judge today would be?
you can get that from him.
No, I can get it from you as well. This is just business, ladies. It's nothing personal.
Well, we have business, we have work to do
I
here
know,
too.
you're
Timothy
working
Hafe.
with me. Timothy Haig,
Haft.
and it's Timthy. Timothy, correct?
Timothy.
Othy. And his last name?
Hoeft.
Hoeft. Okay, and again, you guys do not have his oath of office or his bond on record.
I don't have it here. This is not his home office, so I don't know where that. I honestly don't know where that information's at. So
No record.
this is not his home office.
That's okay.
He visits
Anywhere he
here,
does
so.
business, he's supposed to have that on
Well,
file.
I'm not
and
going to
that's-
argue the law with you.
I'm not-
That's
I'm
fine.
not-
I'm just
I'm
telling
not
you why I
disputing.
don't have it.
I'm
so.
just telling you it's the law. Okay, so you don't have his bar
You wanna get rid of
association.
that right quick?
You don't have his bar association number either on file.
Well, I do. You can get that from him.
I would love to.
You can get that from him in court.
I will just write you're refusing to provide critical intel.
I'm not refusing. I'm saying you can get it from him in
I would
court.
like to ascertain it here from the clerk's office. It shouldn't be an issue. It's a bar card. So would you please provide me the bar card number for Mr. Timothy Hoff?
19311. Is that right?
19311.
Yes.
Okay, and also for the county attorney. County
We'll be
attorney's
right with
name?
you, sir. I'm sorry.
County attorney's name is?
I don't know which one will be here today because
You can give me all of them.
Melody Bellamy is the county attorney.
How do you spell that?
It's public record. Can you look it up?
No, I'm asking you.
Melodie. We're busy here this morning. IE
D-I-E.
Bellamy.
How do you spell that?
Bellamy. And you can get that from her office downstairs as
And
well.
her bar association number?
I don't know what her bar number is. Do you?
21166.
21166. And is she independently bonded?
I have no idea.
Does she have her oath of
She's a
office?
county
on her-
employee. I'm a state employee.
I know. Does she have her oath of office recorded here at the clerk's office?
I'm not the clerk's office.
Okay.
The clerk's office is on the second floor.
So she doesn't have her bond or her oath
She
registered
probably,
here?
she's a county employee. I don't know.
Okay, so she doesn't.
I'm a state employee. She's a county employee.
I'll go check downstairs, not a
Clerk's
problem.
office is on the second floor.
All right. I believe I've got all the intel I need from you. Thank you for making this painless.
I don't know if
okay.
she's gonna be here today because I think maybe she was sick. If I
That's
can hear
all right.
deputy, I don't know.
Well, again, this is not
Oh,
personal.
here's that for you.
Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. This is
Don't
nothing.
call me sweetheart.
This is
I'm
nothing
not your
personal.
sweetheart.
Hey, this is just how I speak. I apologize.
That's fine.
if
I'm
you're
just not your
offended by it.
sweetheart. My name is Laura. Can I help you?
apologize if you're offended by it.
Okay. Or are you gonna be needing the public defender?
No.
Okay. You want public defender? Yes. Okay. I'll need you to fill that out.
No, that's funny. Public defender. Oh, whoops. All right, sir.
Do you want me to find affidavit for a public defender, or
I
you
would
can
like
have your own,
copies
or
of that.
want to proceed with that one?
Can you print 3 of them? That way I can hand it to the judge, the county attorney as well.
Is he with you, or is he here for court?
Yeah, he's.
Okay, good. Thank you.
How was your weekend? Well, I guess That was last week, huh? 4 days ago.
It was fun.
Just got in from Texas. In Dara, actually, in fact. Oh, thank you. How much money does this operation make per month? What do you guys clear?
I have no idea, I don't,
$10,000
I'm
a
under
month?
the AOC, I don't do, I mean,
Right, but you see all the bonds that come through, and you walk the bonds across the street to the bank and all
I
that
don't,
good stuff.
but-
You do not? Who's in charge of that? The clerk? I know I ask hard-hitting questions, but it's only because I'm learned.
what?
That's it.
That's fine.
So,
How much money this place clears, I don't believe is public knowledge, so.
well, we know that because you guys don't report it to the IRS either.
Well, whatever. I don't know why you're arguing with me, I don't.
I'm not
do
arguing,
anything here.
I'm
I
just.
just accept pleadings.
Can I make a couple of these, because I'm gonna have to give one to the county attorney as well, and that
It's
way.
25 cents a page.
That's fine, not a problem, ladies.
How many copies do you want?
Just 2 more, that way I can make sure to have one for the judge to review and
Okay,
read
so
as
it'll be
well.
there's 3 pages.
Well, the ones, is that the affidavit?
Yep,
This is
that's
Yeah,
correct.
we filed in the file.
So he'll have it, so I just need one more copy
The
to
original will
present.
be in there.
Wonderful, thank you. I just need one more copy to present to the county attorney as well. Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much, I sure appreciate that.
75 cents then.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Will you accept FRN notes for that?
What?
Federal Reserve notes, will you accept Federal Reserve
You're
notes?
talking about in cash, a $1 bill, yes.
Well, the $1 bill hasn't been in circulation for quite some time, but I do have a Federal Reserve note, if you would accept that. It's just an instrument of debt, but I'd be more than happy to give that to you if that's what you require.
We need $1. Is
So-
that what it costs? We need $1.
So you need,
75 cents.
so will you accept this Federal Reserve note? We'll accept the Federal Reserve note. Okay.
So it's, thanks.
Can you redeem the rest of that in lawful gold or silver? The, what's due and owing, you cannot?
No.
Is there a reason for that?
We don't have gold and silver here.
You don't have gold and silver here? Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, ladies. Hi, ladies. How are you? Good. I'm just looking for the county attorney's oath of office, as well as her bond number and her board information.
There's the county attorney's office.
Okay, she doesn't have it filed here on record with you guys? She should have it filed on record with the clerk's office.
Myra would know that, and she's the in protest hearing.
Is
The
there-
oath of office, we ought to, have that.
I would love to have a copy of that, as well as the bond that's on the face of the instrument, and also her bar number.
We can get her bar number.
Oh, you guys are rock stars.
Well, we'll see. None of this is gonna be all that easy.
Sure, is she independently bonded? Do you know that?
She must be, because I don't think we have her bond. I mean, we have
Don't.
her, obviously her number from her claims that she puts into the, the County Attorneys Association
Certainly,
and the Bar Association.
certainly, but you don't know for sure whether or not she's independently bonded?
No, you would have to ask her that.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
Do you also have the Judge Timothy Hoffett's bond and oath of office on file as well, for him to do business here in this county?
county court would have
Yeah,
that.
that's up in county court.
I talked to them, they don't have it, they sent me down here to you ladies, unfortunately.
Okay, so what is it we're needing?
The oath of office and the bond for the county attorney, and her bar number. And then also Timothy Hoffett is the alleged presiding judge here today. And I need to see that he's got an oath of office and a bond established for him on the official record
The
here
judge,
registered
the
with
judges
clerks.
are a state thing, so that would be all in the court office.
And when I talked to them up there, they sent me back down here. So it leads me
Who
to
sent you down here?
the clerk's office upstairs. District. This is county, right?
This is the county clerk's office, the
Right.
county court office is up there.
Right, but the
So
county.
is this a district judge or a county judge?
I'm not sure. That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. But I do need all this information that is very relevant and pertinent to what is transpiring here today. And so.
Well, we
I
have a
just-
meeting in 5 minutes. They can
Certainly.
find, the oaths, the
I have
bonds
a
are a
meeting in about
blanket.
10 minutes, but I need.
Yeah, our
need all
bonds
that.
are a blanket bond for all the
So you guys have
officials.
blanket bonds, nobody's independently bonded?
It's, through NERMA. in
Okay, it's
Lincoln.
through Nerma and Lincoln. And Lincoln. And again, nobody's independently bonded in these offices?
Last year, this
So how,
claim that we paid, yes.
You would have to talk to
so
them.
the
I don't
whole
know anything
county,
about it.
the whole county and all the taxpayers are the surety in the event
I
that you
have no
guys make
idea.
a
That's a
clerical
whole
error and
insurance
it
question. I
causes
didn't-
harm, injury, or loss to others? That's my concern here. Everybody in this building is supposed to be independently bonded, just like you're a private contractor.
I know NERMA does this for all the counties across the state, so
Okay,
you would
well,
need to talk to
I would
them.
advise you ladies to please look into becoming independently bonded. What it's gonna do is protect you
If
guys.
you wanna do that, you would have to talk to the county supervisor.
I'm just addressing you guys. You can take it for what you want. It's not legal advice, but I would advise you.
So that would be the only thing that we have. Anything else, you'd have to talk to Melody.
Certainly, certainly. Okay, is this everything for me? Oh, no, this was just one.
Did you
Yeah.
find the oath?
You have it under, I know you have it in these drawers, but I can't
The
find
oaths are in the vault. They used to be, unless you moved it.
it.
This
No,
doesn't
there's
have
some
a
in
bar
there,
number.
I don't know.
It does not have her bar number?
Well, this is for her too, so it doesn't have her bar.
Okay.
There's nothing that I would require to have a bar number. And she may
Well,
have a
she's supposed to
requirement in
be-
her office.
She's supposed to be registered with the county that she's
Okay,
doing
then she
business in as
has-
well as the state, so, and her oath of office should be on record as well.
And
Yes,
there
you do
is
have,
her,
May I ascertain a copy of that oath of office, please?
And we will find it for you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
If I'd have known ahead of time,
I'm
I'd have had it
sorry,
for you.
Lord. I'll tell you
I have
what,
a, I have a
There's
protest hearing at 9
it's
o'clock.
been a heck of a day for me already, and, you know,
But
so.
they will look and see if
I'm
they
just
can
dealing
find
with this
some more,
legal
yes.
racketeering stuff that these people perpetuate on the American people, and, so I just need to make sure these guys are all in order to even do business in the first place.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
I'll look for you. Otherwise
That's fine.
I'll just have to
I'll go ahead
wait
and
till we
stop
get
back
that
down
in.
after my business meeting here in
Okay.
just a short bit.
And also call
And,
Laura and see if she can pull my
Okay, I have.
because the drawer that they used to be in, there was a lawn closed that's.
Wonderful. Okay, so again, I'm just looking for the bonds, the oaths of office for both
And
the
who
other.
are you?
My name is Derek Gonzalez, and I'll be back down here shortly after a meeting.
Okay, you're gonna have a meeting up there.
That's correct. Yep, was the ministerial administrator and a prosecuting attorney, and I just need to make sure that they're correct for doing business today. So, all right, thank you.
Hey, have you talked to Melody's office?
I've talked to them upstairs. They don't like me very much, but.
Melody's office, the county attorney's office.
No, I have not, but I've got 5 minutes until my meeting, and I want to make sure to be on point there. So I will stop back and see you ladies afterwards. Thank you so much. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good, partner. Getting ready for a good weekend?
Actually, I am. I'm off this week.
Awesome. Where are you headed?
Nowhere.
Sometimes that's the best.
Not a plan, one.
Well, good, good. How long you been a deputy sheriff?
26 years
Yeah? You enjoy it?
at times.
I hear you. I completely understand that, my friend. How often do you have to renew your oath of office and your bond?
What's that?
How often do you have to renew your oath of office and your bond?
Only the sheriff has to be bonded, but we do it every year.
You renew your oath every year?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Are you independently bonded as well?
No.
You're not.
Like in Nebraska, though, we get the, like qualified immunity. You know, they can't sue us personally unless they prove that we violated the law. You know, if I break the law doing something that I'm charged
Really?
with, then yeah, that applies. But if not, the deputies are all covered. And, you know, you can sue the department or the county, but you can't sue us personally. So we don't have to be bonded. The sheriff has to do that as an elected official.
Wow. I'd advise you to become bonded, my friend.
Well,
Independently bonded, all it does is it just
I've
protects
got
you.
my own.
Very good. Very good.
Protection
That's
there,
what I
but-
wanted. That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
know.
unless I really step in it, it's like I'm generally pretty safe, and not every state's like that, so.
Sure. Well, I mean, you know, when you start to look into it, it's very clear that everybody should be independently bonded because you're acting as a private contractor. And so I just look out for my fellow deputy sheriffs and,
Yeah.
and sheriffs in the counties. I'm Derek, by the way.
Yeah.
Pleased to
Ryan
meet you.
Gibbons, nice to
Ryan,
meet you, Derek.
pleased to meet you, partner. And would you be the county attorney today?
I'm the deputy county attorney.
Wonderful. So you will be taking over
I'm
these.
handling court this morning.
Wonderful. I got an affidavit for you here. So it'll be there for you. And are you independently bonded? And what is your bar number, please?
My bar number is 21514.
1514. And your name?
Brian McQuay.
Brian McQuay. Would you mind spelling that for me?
Brian is B-R-Y-N and McQuay is M-C-Q-U-A-Y.
M-C-Q-U-A-Y.
U-A-Y.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate that. And do you carry a bond as well?
Yes.
All right, Kearney County Court's now in session. Honorable Timothy Gates presiding.
Thank you. May be seated.
Okay, what's going on there? Okay, we're on the record, Kearney County Court, July 19th, 2018. The matters, we're here this morning for arraignment. During the arraignment process, I'll advise all of you of your rights at the same time, as well as the possible pleas. Pay attention to those rights and pleas, and if you have questions about them, you can ask them when your case is called to the front of the room. Everything we do in this courtroom is recorded on an audio recording device, and that creates your record for purposes of appeal. At this time, I'll have the county attorney take roll call of those people he expects to be here. When your name is called, please answer out loud so there's a record that you were present for the advisement of rights. Mr. McQuay.
Thank you. The people who I expect here today, Tyler Shohan.
Here.
Thank you. Ethan DeLate. Here. Thank you. Derek Gonzalez.
Appearing by affidavit.
Thank you. Daniel Harris. Is there Daniel Harris here?
I think that one was supposed to get continued. but
Okay,
not
thank
possible.
you. Benjamin Norgard. Here. Thank you. Is there anyone else here for court for initial appearances, 9 o'clock hearings, whose name I didn't call?
Okay, each of you have the following rights. You have a right to receive a photocopy of the complaint that's been filed with the court and have that complaint read into the record by the county attorney. You have a right to a speedy public trial. That's a trial within 6 months from the date the complaint was filed with the court. You have a right to have a sufficient time to prepare a defense to the charge. You are presumed to be not guilty and therefore have a right to require the state of Nebraska to prove you guilty of any charge beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial. You have a right to receive a list of the state's witnesses and to confront and cross-examine those witnesses at a trial. You have a right to compel witnesses to attend court and give testimony on your behalf. You have a right to remain silent. No one can force you to testify about the matter that brings you before the court. You also have a right to testify if you want to. Keep in mind, if you choose to testify, anything that you say can be used to prove the charges against you. You have a right to a trial by jury if you can be sentenced to jail. You have a right to have the court set bail if you are being held in custody. You have a right to appeal any final decision or order of this court to a higher court. You have a right to have time to talk to an attorney and have an attorney represent you in this matter. If you wish to have time to talk to an attorney, the court will grant you a continuance so that you may do so. If you wish to talk to an attorney and you cannot afford to hire an attorney, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you at the state's expense if you qualify. If you are not a United States citizen, you hereby advise that a conviction for the offense for which you have been charged could have the consequences of your removal from the United States or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. In addition, if you're charged with a crime of domestic violence and you're convicted of that crime, you could be precluded from possessing both firearms and ammunition under state and federal law. Those are the rights that you have. The next thing I'll advise you of the 3 possible pleas available to you. The first plea is a plea of not guilty. If you enter a not guilty plea, you're denying that you violated the laws set forth in the complaint. And the court will schedule the matter for trial at a later date and time, at which time you'll be able to exercise all of your rights. If you're charged with a Class 2, a Class 3, a Class 3A, or a Class W misdemeanor, and you wish to have a jury trial, you must request that jury trial within 10 days of entering your not guilty plea. If you fail to make that request, you would waive your right to a jury trial. You would still have a trial, but it would be to the judge only. The next plea is a plea of guilty. If you enter a guilty plea, you're admitting that you violated the law set forth in the complaint. And if the court accepts your plea, it would proceed to sentencing. And the final plea is a plea of no contest. If you enter a no contest plea, you're neither admitting nor denying that you violated the law set forth in the complaint. You're simply indicating to the court that you do not wish to contest the matter. You're allowing the court to find you guilty and proceed to sentencing. Keep in mind, if you enter a plea of guilty or no contest and the court accepts your plea, You would be giving up your right to trial and all rights associated with the trial, including your right to jury trial, your right to confront and cross-examine those accusing you, and your right to remain silent. Those are your rights and the three possible pleas. Mr. McQuay, if you'll please call the first case.
May I have a point of clarification, sir?
You may ask a question when your case is called to the front of the room, and so I don't know if your case is going to be the first one he calls, but I'll answer your questions when your case is called to the front of the room. Mr.
Your Honor,
McQuay.
the first person on the schedule is Tyler Shohan.
Mr. Shohan, if you'll please come forward. Next matter before the court, or the first matter before the court this morning, is State of Nebraska versus Tyler Shohan. It's case number CR 18-69. The matter comes on today for arraignment on a charge of third-degree assault, class 1 misdemeanor, carries maximum 1 year imprisonment, $1,000 fine, or both, no minimum. Count 2, a charge of disturbing the peace, is a class 3 misdemeanor, carries a maximum 3 months imprisonment, $500 fine, or both, no minimum. Sir, are you Tyler Shohan?
Yes.
Mr. Shohan, did you receive a copy of your complaint?
Yes.
Do you wish to have that complaint read into the record?
No.
You were present when I advised you of your rights. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Do you understand the three possible pleas available to you, sir? Any questions about those rights or pleas?
No.
Do you wish to have time to talk to an attorney in this matter, Mr. Shohan?
Yes.
Are you gonna hire your own requesting court-appointed counsel? You filled out the financial affidavit, sir. You'll hand it to Mr. McQuay. Okay, Mr. Shohan, you're currently unemployed, is that correct?
Yes.
When's the last time you had employment?
About 2 weeks ago.
Okay, do you own any real estate, sir?
No.
Any, stocks or bonds? Do you own any automobiles that are paid for?
No.
Okay, Mr. McQuay, the state's position?
Your Honor, at this time, it would appear that he qualifies, but we would just ask you to be advised that his financial circumstances could be reviewed at a later time to determine if that qualification changes.
Okay, are there any conflicts in this case?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Enns already represents him in a separate case, so.
Okay.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay, today the court will find that you qualify the court-appointed counsel, sir. The court's going to appoint the public defender to represent you in this matter. The court's going to also admonish you that if at some point during the proceedings you do gain employment and your financial situation changes, you could be ordered to reimburse Kearney County for some or all of the expenses associated with your defense. Do you understand that? I saw you shake your head, but I need to articulate. Thank you. Okay, we're coming back August 9th, 2018 for entry of a plea at 10 a.m. Mr. Shohan, do you promise to be here at that date and time?
Yes, sir.
Come and release you on that promise to appear in the bond. You posted anything else, Mr. McQuay?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shohan. We'll see you on August 9th.
Anything delayed?
Next matter before the court of State of Nebraska versus Ethan Delayed. It's case number CR 18-78. Matter comes on today for arraignment on a charge of criminal mischief, tampering with property causing pecuniary loss of less than $500. It's a class 3 misdemeanor, carries a maximum 3 months imprisonment, $500 fine, or both, no minimum. Sir, are you Ethan Delay?
Yes, sir. Delayed.
It's Delayed, I'm sorry. Are you Ethan Delayed?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Delayed, did you receive a copy of your complaint?
Yes.
Do you understand the pending charge and the possible penalties?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to have that complaint read into the record, sir? You were present when I advised you of your rights. Do you understand your rights? Do you understand the 3 possible pleas available to you? Any questions about those rights or pleas, sir? Do you wish to have time to talk to an attorney in this matter?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to hire your own attorney?
No,
You're requesting court-appointed counsel? Okay. Mr. McQuay, has he handed you his financial affidavit?
Yes, he has, Your Honor.
State- Okay, go ahead, sir.
I've read right on there, I do one pickup.
Okay, and how much is that, the value of that truck?
8,000.
Is it paid for, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. McQuay?
Your Honor, in looking at just the bills compared to the income and having a dependent, it would appear that he qualifies. I wasn't taking into consideration the extra property, so it may be a little bit close. but it would appear that he does not have a lot of disposable income.
Yeah, I'm looking at his bills and he's got some additional debts. The court's gonna find that he, does qualify for, that he is indigent for purposes of qualifying for court-appointed counsel. The court's gonna appoint a public defender to represent him in this matter. We're gonna come back for entry of a plea, sir, on
August 16th.
August 16, 2018
Ten o'clock.
at 10 a.m. Mr. DeLay, you promised to be here at that date and time?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna have you sign a $500 personal cognizance bond at the counter, sir. It doesn't require you to put any money up, but it is your promise to be here. If for some reason you fail to appear, I can enter a civil judgment against you for $500. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Sign your bond at the counter. We'll see you August 16th for entry of a plea. Thank you.
Derek Gonzalez?
Present, appearing by affidavit.
Okay, sir, I've received your affidavit. If you'll please come forward, have a seat at the table.
I can't pass the bar. I've appeared by affidavit. All the questions have been asked and answered, and I just need another date to appear as far as my knowledge, as far as to my understanding of it.
Well, Mr. Gonzalez, you are Derek Gonzalez, correct?
Derek Gonzalez appeared by affidavit,
Mr.
sworn
Gonzalez, you're charged
affidavit.
with 3 counts. Count 1 is no valid registration. It's a class 3 misdemeanor, carries maximum 3 months imprisonment, $500 fine, or both, no minimum. Count 2 is a charge of no proof of insurance. That's a class 2 misdemeanor, carries maximum 6 months imprisonment, $1,000 fine, or both, no minimum. In addition, sir, if you're convicted of that offense, you would be required to provide an SR-22 to the Department of Motor Vehicles for a period of 3 years, or your operator's license would be suspended. Count 3 is no license on person. That's a class 3 misdemeanor, carries maximum 3 months imprisonment, a $500 fine, or both. You understand the 3 pending charges and the possible penalties, sir?
I'll need you to put that in writing and
Sir, did you receive a copy of your complaint?
send it to the,
Sir, did you receive a copy of your complaint? That's a yes or no question. Did you receive a copy of your complaint?
I don't believe I have one. Do you have one on file? May I
Mr.
appear?
McQuaid, do you have an extra copy of the complaint you can hand to Mr. Gonzalez?
Please, sir, on just a second.
So is the complaint, is that the original bill, charge,
Well,
ticket that was,
Uniform citation and complaint.
that was drawn?
Have a long form.
and I see that there's a lack of wet ink signature on that, and also there's a discrepancy with that wherein the signature is not recognized by the defendant as it appears that it has been altered. This is all in my affidavit, so I'll give you guys time to read that affidavit and review it.
I'm not gonna read your affidavit. What we're here
that's
for
fine.
today, we're here for first appearance. It's called an arraignment. I advise you of the pending charges, I advise you of your rights, and I advise you of the possible penalties.
Yes, and Derek
And
appeared
then,
by
sir,
special
I ask you
affidavit.
if you wish to have time to talk to an attorney, and if you want time to talk to an attorney, I'll grant you time. And if you can't afford an attorney, I will appoint an attorney to represent you. Sir, and then at some point, if you wish to enter pleas with or without an attorney, I'll take your pleas, and you can enter one of the 3 pleas, and then I'll set the matter for trial, and then we'll take up your evidentiary issues that you wish to assert.
Point of
But the way the
clarification.
process works, sir, is we go through the first appearance and arraignment, then we take a plea, then we set the evidentiary hearings. We're not gonna argue evidence today. We're going to arraign you today. So there are simple questions. Do you
Objection, I
understand
got a
the
point of
3 pending
clarification,
charges?
please. In the Constitution, it's very clear that I have a right to a jury trial. It doesn't say multiple trials, putting me in jeopardy time and time
Sir, you do have a
again.
right to a jury trial, and you also have a right to have that trial set, but we can't set a trial till we have you enter your plea and you go through the arraignment process. The case law is very clear on that.
So has a grand jury federally indicted me at this point? I'm curious because that's
Sir,
one of the
you're charged with
criteria in
state
order to
law.
be.
There's no requirement for an indictment.
So this
State
is a
law
special-
simply provides that a complaint be filed against you and that you appear to answer that complaint.
So is this a special proceeding in a special court then, sir?
This is the state court, sir. It's a county court.
Wonderful.
It's authorized by the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Nebraska.
And is Derek Gonzalez, is he entitled to a fair and meaningful hearing?
You are entitled to a trial, sir, but until you go through the arraignment process and enter your plea, we're not taking up your evidentiary issues.
Okay, and if there be a conflict of interest, would how would that
Take that
work
up after your arraignment, sir.
after the arraignment? But it wouldn't happen before, and the reason for that
It would
is
happen before the trial, after the arraignment. That's how the process works.
because I believe Derek sees a clear conflict of interest and has articulated that in the sworn affidavit before the court today, whereas the alleged judge, ministerial administrator, is a bar member. The prosecuting attorney is also a bar member. They both work for the state entity. They both get paid by the state,
Well,
and
where
that's a
you're
clear
wrong, sir.
conflict of interest.
That's where you're wrong, sir. See, you should do some more research.
So you don't
Mr.
work-
McQuaid does not work for the state of Nebraska.
He works for the county. I understand that. He's also paid out of the state treasury.
No, he's not.
Yes, sir. I
No,
can
he's
prove
not.
that logistically. Okay, so what I need.
So where's you got a copy of Mr.
Well, today you
McQuaid's
said-
payroll stuff? Because I'm
Today
sorry,
you said that
can't
evidence
get
cannot be put on the record, so we'll wait for a later date on that. So my next question is, I need everybody's oath of office and bonds. Their bonds should be on the face of the instrument of their oath. And those are some of the things that I'm going to require in order to do business with you
Well,
guys.
Mr. Gonzalez,
'Cause you're private.
I don't know who you think you are. I'm not gonna treat you any differently
I'm just
than
a
any
man,
other
sir.
individual. But Mr. Gonzalez, we're here today for arraignment. Today I'm gonna, find that you, I'm gonna ask you one more time. You understand the three pending charges in the possible penalty?
I do not comprehend, I need clarification
Would
yet.
you like me to order a competency evaluation, have you committed to the regional center, sir?
If a quid pro quo is in order, are you also going to be participating in a mental evaluation as well?
No, sir, I don't think I need one. because
I don't think I
I'm
need one either, so we're in agreement with that.
So
So,
I'm gonna find that you do understand your complaint. I'm going to find that you understand the possible penalties.
that is incorrect.
Mr.
Objection.
Gonzalez,
I object to that. You're violating my
your
substantial rights at this point.
Mr. Gonzalez, do not interrupt me while I'm talking, please. You've been advised of your constitutional rights. Do you understand your rights? As I explained
Objection.
them, sir?
Point of clarification, sir. To my knowledge, you're violating my substantial rights at this point. I'm just trying.
You don't even know what your rights are, Mr. Gonzalez.
I don't?
You read some garbage on the internet. You think you have a better understanding of the law than everybody else in this room.
No, sir. I just realized that I'm not the surety and that you're
I'm gonna
the.
ask you simple yes and no questions, sir. You
Sir,
understand your
point of
rights?
clarification?
Do you understand your rights?
I just understand that you are the surety. You are the trustee of this
Mr.
matter.
Gonzalez, I'm
And-
gonna ask you one more time to stop interrupting. I'm gonna ask you a question. It's yes or no. Do you understand your rights as I've explained them to you?
No, I do not.
Okay, which right don't you understand, sir?
Well, the fact that I have the right to face my accuser, I don't see the accuser here today.
That's because we're not set for trial today, sir. We're set for arraignment. At the arraignment, it is a hearing where you're advised of your rights, you're advised of the pending charges, you're advised of the possible penalties and the possible pleas. If you enter a not guilty plea, then we'll schedule the matter for trial, and that is the day that the state will call its witnesses, and you'll have your right to confront and cross-examine those witnesses.
Okay, do I have a
But
right
the
not?
witnesses do not appear at arraignment, sir.
Okay, do I have a right not to be subjected to bills of attainder? Is a bill of attainder unconstitutional, sir?
I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
You don't know what a bill of
You're talking
attainder
about
is?
the bond that you've had to sign?
Well, I know what the bond is. I'm talking about the bill of attainder, the charging instrument, the original charging instrument that nobody can provide for me.
Well, sir, I think you got a copy of that on the side of the highway.
I would like to see the original with the wedding signature. It appears to me that everything has been digitized and that it has been altered.
Well, I don't know that it's been altered, sir. It's been amended by interlineation with a pen setting forth the penalties for each of the counts. But if you'd like, before your trial, I'll have Mr. McQuaid's office file a formal complaint. Mr. McQuaid, if you'll please hand Mr. Gonzalez a copy of the complaint that your office filed with the court.
Certainly.
It's a standard practice in every state, as well as the state of Nebraska. The uniform citations and complaints for traffic offenses are filed with the court. The uniform citation and complaint clearly sets out each of the three charges, and the county attorney has, by interlineation, amended that uniform citation and complaint to set forth the penalty in each of the charges. And you've been advised of those penalties.
So I need clarification one more time. And I thank you so graciously for working with me here because I'm fascinated by this whole procedure and process.
I'm sure you have been.
I am. So on the record, has a performance bond been established for and on the official record? Because I have not seen that. The only thing that you're stating here that is on the record is prima facie evidence of alleged indebtedness in a contract for which the affidavit has been
There's no
submitted for.
alleged indebtedness, sir. The document sets forth the scheduled fines if you chose to pay it by waiver. The document says that you violated 3 separate laws. I've explained the penalties for your violations.
Okay, so
and
this-
now we're going to move forward, sir.
Clarification.
I explained you have a right to receive a photocopy.
Objection.
Of the complaint. I'll note for the record that you've received that copy.
Objection, sir. I
You
have a point of
overruled.
clarification.
Now be quiet. You have a right to a speedy public trial. That's within 3 to 6 months from the date the complaint was filed with the court, sir. Your complaint was filed on May 30th, 2018, which means the state has to bring the matter to trial sometime before November 30th.
Objection, sir. I've got a point of clarification here as well.
You have a right to sufficient time to prepare a defense to the charge. You also are presumed to be not guilty and have a right to require the state to prove
So
your
am I-
charge beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to receive a list of the state's witnesses, and you have a right to confront, cross-examine those witnesses. And after you enter your plea, sir, you can enter into a discovery agreement with the state, or the court will order the state to provide you with a list of witnesses by a date certain. You have a right to compel witnesses to attend in court, which, sir, means you can file precipices with the court, and the court will issue subpoenas to arraign people or to force people, compel them to appear in court to give testimony on your behalf. You also have a right to remain silent, sir. No one can force you to testify about the matter that brings you before the court. And you have a right to testify if you want to. Keep in mind, if you choose to testify, anything you say can be used to prove the charge against you. You have a right to a trial by jury, sir. And since none of these are class 1 misdemeanors or higher, you must request that jury trial within 10 days of entering your not guilty plea. You understand that right?
No, sir. I've got some clarification. Earlier you
Sir,
stated
that's the
something.
rules of this court. You understand that right?
you assume-
If you don't like my rules, you can appeal me to a higher court.
You assume
don't
facts,
like
not in
court
evidence, sir, and I'm just trying to have an ascension of the minds so we can move forward in an expedient manner, sir.
Sure, I can tell.
Wonderful. So, with that said, are you guys all going to put your bonds on this case so I can see
I'm not
it?
required by law to post a bond. I don't have a bond. I have immunity from the bench. So I do
Immunity
not
from the
have a
bench?
bond.
Can you explain the immunity from the bench, sir? That's something I
It's
have
in the
not
law,
found.
it's in the Constitution.
Where
it's
might I
clear,
find that?
And I'm not here to teach you law school. So
Oh,
if you don't understand the law, you can either hire an attorney or you can ask for court-appointed counsel. But I'm not playing games with you.
Okay,
today.
so are you on
Sir,
your oath today, sir? Are you on your oath today?
Absolutely. I
Okay,
have
and so
been
is this
sworn
not a
in.
bill of attainder?
I have been sworn in. It's not a bill of attainder.
It's not a bill of attainder.
No,
What would you
not my
classify?
legal-
What
not
would you
my
classify it as, sir?
Sir, I just told you that I answered your question.
Can you
Moving
put it in
on.
writing for me, sir?
Sir, we're moving on. You have a right to trial by jury. You have a right to have the court set bail if you're being held in custody. Looks, I think you already signed a bond when you were here last week with Judge Meade. And you signed it under protest.
No, I said it paid to the drawer for Derek Gonzalez by Derek Gonzalez. It should be technically sent to the state treasury, correct?
You have a right to appeal any final decision or order of this court to a higher court. You have a right to have time to talk to an attorney, sir. Do you wish to have time to talk to an attorney, or are you going to represent yourself?
Well, let me ask you
Sir, do you
this.
wish to have time to talk to an
for-
attorney, or are you going to represent
I just need
yourself?
clarification on that. Is a bar member's first allegiance to the court first and foremost as an officer of the court?
Sir, are you going to have, you wish to have time to talk to an attorney, or are you going to represent yourself?
I have counsel, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, you have
My-
counsel. Have they entered in appearance yet, sir?
No, they have not,
Okay,
because
we'll give them time to enter an appearance.
I continually get denied my counsel because they're not bar members. But from what my studies have conclusively proven, Your Honor, is that the bar members have an allegiance and alliance first and foremost as officers to the court, not to their client. So I refuse to be bamboozled by a RICO Act where everybody acts in concert against me. These special proceedings are absolutely appalling, and I'm just looking for clarification from you. Are you a ranking bar member at this moment in time, sir?
A ranking bar member?
Are you a bar member,
We're
sir?
required to belong to the bar so we can practice laws and statutes.
So you-
sir. It's in the state of Nebraska.
And you're very much well aware that the American Bar Association is in fact
I'm not a member of the American Bar Association.
Okay, but you're a member of the Bar Association and thus being part of a monopoly, and here your prosecuting attorney is also a bar member. You both have an allegiance to this court.
That's your opinion, sir.
No, it's fact and law. It's
Oh,
fact and law.
What law? Can you cite me to a statute?
Well,
that says
again,
that?
you said the discovery of evidence for facts and law will be at a later date, so I will gladly bring those
Okay,
to
yeah,
you.
wait.
So can I see the evidence on record of bonds and stuff established prior to our next court date? That way I can review everything and make sure that I go through it specifically with the intent of expediting this process, sir.
You can file your discovery request with the state, sir. I'm not addressing your discovery.
Okay, and earlier you said that I'm innocent of the charges until proven guilty. Am I innocent of the element of jurisdiction And has jurisdiction been established for and on the official record at this point by sworn affidavit?
You're here, sir.
I'm here as representation for Derek S. Gonzalez.
You've identified yourself as Derek Gonzalez.
No, I've identified.
You've signed an affidavit and filed it with the court at 8:37 a.m. identifying yourself as Derek Gonzalez. And sir, you didn't note that affidavit was for limited appearance, and so as far as I'm concerned,
Limited appearance, thank you.
submitted yourself to the jurisdiction of the court. So you're here, you signed a bond at your last court hearing.
Can you put that on record for me so I can review that?
I just did, sir.
Wonderful.
So, sir, there are 3 pleas available to you: not guilty, guilty, and no contest. Sir, do you wish to have time to consult with your attorney before you enter a plea?
Yes, I will take that up. I don't know that it's necessary to plea. Like I said, Derek S. Gonzalez did appear via affidavit. I understand
right in front of me, Mr. Gonzalez.
there's a
I see you.
language discrepancy and barrier. Obviously, you wanted it to be in a limited appearance, so I'll go ahead and correct the record for you on that.
Sir, you've already filed this affidavit, you've already appeared, you've already been arraigned. So I have jurisdiction over you, you've signed a bond agreeing to be here, so we're gonna go forward with your case. Now, do you want to enter a plea today, or do you want to come back and enter your plea with your attorney?
And my counsel. It'd be my counsel, not an attorney. Are you
You'll have
willing to
be an
accept my
attorney,
counsel?
sir, he won't be able to sit by you.
Clarify.
The state of Nebraska requires that all attorneys be licensed to practice, and if they're not licensed to practice, it's the unauthorized practice of law, and he cannot sit next to you.
Wonderful. So clarification: does your counsel, your prosecuting attorney, does he have a license issued by the state of Nebraska at this point in time that he can produce on and for the official record? You just stated that you must be licensed by the state of Nebraska, and
by the state to practice law, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are licensed. Can I see that physical and
That is through the
pure?
Nebraska State Bar Association, correct?
Actually, through the Nebraska Supreme Court, Your Honor.
Okay.
So
You have
can
license from the Nebraska Supreme Court.
I will need that on file? His license
You can do
issued
your
by the
request.
state of
You can-
Nebraska.
You can make a request for discovery.
Request
Sir,
for discovery. Okay. So he will in fact produce his license issued by the state of Nebraska to practice law. Correct?
if you file a request for discovery, I'm sure he'll respond.
And do you also have a license to practice law issued by the state of
I
Nebraska?
have a license to practice law issued by the United States District Court of the state of Nebraska, issued a license to practice law from the Nebraska Supreme Court.
Wonderful. And can you make sure that's on record as well, sir?
Well, sir, those are my documents. You can certainly contact the clerk of the Supreme Court and the clerk of the United States District Court of the state of Nebraska and ask to see my license.
So you do not have an obligation or a duty to produce those on and for the official record for my reviewing purposes?
I don't believe I do, sir.
I would like to challenge that, and I would like to see that on,
That's
on
great.
and for the record.
You
I'd like
filed
to
the
know that you're
appropriate
bonded
mo-
and
You filed the
insured.
appropriate motions, Mr. Gonzalez, and we will certainly take them up.
You never did answer my question of whether or not I was presumed innocent of all elements, including jurisdiction.
I told you that I already have jurisdiction over you, sir.
You're
I
claiming
told
that you have
you're presumed
jurisdiction,
innocent.
but you're assuming facts that are not in evidence, sir, and I'd like to see those facts on evidence.
Don't interrupt me.
Why are you making loud
Don't
noises?
interrupt me. I will find you in contempt of court. I've about had it with you.
Objection.
Running your mouth out of order.
I'm just trying to figure things out.
No,
Objection.
you're not.
Criminal.
No, you are not.
Criminal
You're
or civil?
constantly interrupting me, and I've about had it.
Okay. Point of clarification. You mentioned.
I'm not recognizing you right now.
So what am I-
I'm telling you one more thing, sir. Do not interrupt me.
How are we to have an ascension of the mind,
Because
sir?
we can never have one if you keep interrupting me because you think you're right. You think you know everything, and you don't.
I don't know everything.
So
I'll be the first to
I want you
admit
to be
that.
quiet, and I want you to just listen and
Can-
answer my question.
Can I ask a question here? You said
No, you
contempt,
cannot.
and
I'm
I was
not
asking.
recognizing you right now. You do not have the floor, and it's not your turn to talk. It's my turn to talk.
How are we supposed
Shut
to?
your mouth.
Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
I'm going to. Sir, are you going to come back with a licensed attorney to enter your plea, or do you want to enter your plea today?
I don't know that anybody's licensed. I'll ask him if he's licensed, so I'll have to. We'll have to wait until I can confirm that he's licensed by the state of Nebraska. Because to my knowledge, nobody is licensed
So
by the
you're
state of
requesting
Nebraska.
for a continuance to be, to have time to consult with your counsel or an attorney?
Yeah, it'd be
And
a
we'll
2-week
come back for
leeway.
entry of a plea then at a later date and time.
I do have some questions for and on the official record. You mentioned contempt earlier. Would that be civil or criminal?
I don't care.
I would request 2 weeks. I've got some things that I need to handle and some affairs that need to be taken care of.
Okay, we're coming back August 2nd, 2018 at 1:30 for entry of a plea. You promise to be here at that date and time, sir?
Always. Can you give me another bond and make it 10,000 this time? I'd love that.
No, sir, I'm gonna release you on the bond you previously posted.
Can we
And-
increase it by chance?
No, sir, it's significant, it's adequate, you appeared on it.
I don't know that it'll cover all my travel expenses and stuff, so I would like to make sure that it incurs and covers all
Sir,
travel and study.
I don't think you understand what the bond is for. So today I'm going to release you on the bond previously posted and you promise to appear at
Do I have-
1:30 August 2nd,
Excuse me,
2018.
point of clarification?
We're adjourned on your case.
I'd like to ask about
Adjourned on your case.
subrogation, sir?
We're adjourned on your case.
Okay, well, it's very clear, all right. So am I free to go at this point? Am I free to go?
You are free to go.
All right.
You're released on the bond you previously.
Will it be another judge that?
You promised to be here. I'm afraid I'll be here, sir.
Oh, wonderful, that's fantastic, all right. Thank you. All right, see you later, partner. You guys be good. So again, nobody has any bonds, oaths of office, anything like that?
I'm not answering those questions.
You're not answering those
I am
questions, even though you have an obligation, a duty to do
I
so?
am a clerk.
Okay.
That's all.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Shoo-doo. Hi, how are ya? I am back. Were you able to locate any of that information that I was seeking? It appears that the court has run rogue upstairs and they don't want to provide said information, so.
Upstairs is pretty much state and, the state is third floor. So we really.
So as a private contractor, I always show people my insurance and my bonds and all that stuff. And I'm just really appalled by the fact that none of these people upstairs generating revenue for this county can produce their oaths of office, their bonds, or insurance. That just strikes me as odd. Are we just,
Like I said.
okay.
They're not even paid by,
Oh, they're all paid by the state, ma'am. I can assure you that.
Huh?
They're all paid by the state treasury. I can assure you that. All the funds are dispersed from the state treasury. They work for a corporate
Our
entity.
county attorney's SNBA number is 21166.
21166.
We pay her.
21166. All right. And you get your funds from the state treasury, the Nebraska state treasury, correct?
I am not in the treasurer's. You're gonna have to
Right.
ask the treasurer's that.
Well, I just figured you would know where your funding comes from, and it's the state treasury, the county board of supervisors. Is
The
that?
treasurers, you can ask them. I
Awesome.
mean, obviously, the treasurer collects the taxes.
Sure.
People come in and pay the treasurer. We are the clerk, the register of deeds, the election office.
Absolutely. My name is Derek, and it was pleased to meet your acquaintance. And thank you for so much for being professional. I'm sure you guys will see me again.
That's
And
fine. We'll be-
in that meeting of time, would you mind seeing if you can ascertain these bonds and oaths of office? Now, the oath of office on the face of the instrument should have the bond on the face of the oath of office, and that's what I need is a certified copy of the oath of office with the bond attached. So.
We will see about that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Certainly.
You have a good weekend. Hi, how are you today? Oh, fantastic. I'm just trying to figure out how this little organization stays afloat and how everybody in this building gets paid. To my knowledge, you guys get paid directly through the state treasury.
I'm going to send you to the clerk's office.
She sent me over here.
You get our checks from
You get your checks from the clerk's office, so you're unaware of where the funds are actually dispersed from for, say, the county attorney, the sheriffs,
I have no
local
clue.
police department, all that stuff is generated from the state treasury, the Nebraska state treasury, and then funds are dispersed to you guys
Do you have
anywhere.
any idea of our?
Okay, all right, thank you, ladies. I hear you. You know, I've got such rigmarole with these jackasses upstairs, these bar association members that fleece the American people. And I understand you ladies are just doing your job. I have no ill will or animosity to any of you. But the fact of the matter is they're up there fleecing people right now based under the guise that the state was somehow harmed. Well, the state's no more real than Kris Kringle or the Easter Bunny. Uncle Sam is not real. The American people have been duped. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. But thank you ladies very much for your time. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the most interesting court date of them all. I hope you guys were able to enjoy that shit show. And this is the building for the IRS to come rip apart, because nobody seems to know their job. Nobody's got oaths of office or bonds. Nobody's going to put anything on the record for the record. Derek Gonzalez appeared today by way of affidavit. Now the judge says the alleged judge, the ministerial administrator, alleges that he does not recognize the affidavit. We'll just see about that. But how much fun was that, guys? Yeah, they get pissed. They don't want to answer whether it's civil or criminal contempt because they know damn good and well if it's civil, I'm going to reject their offer and deny their offer and not accept it. And if it's criminal, he can't be a party to his own misery and the executor as well. So that is what we saw today in the court, along with a bunch of shenanigans where they ran around in circles trying to justify their existence of fleecing the American people. This happens every day in courtrooms all the way around the world. The American Bar Association, along with the London Crown, they all have an allegiance to make that corporation a lot of money. What you saw today was special proceedings in a special court, a special military tribunal, where they allege the state has somehow been violated or affected. Now, they perpetrate to the American people that I somehow am a wrongdoer for traveling freely. And again, when I asked if it was a bill of attainder, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. He knows damn good and well that ticket, that instrument, is absolutely a bill of attainder. So it looks like August 2nd, we're going to have some more fun. He wants my counsel there. So we'll have counsel on point. But more so than ever, before that date, we're going to do a 3949A, ladies and gentlemen, with the IRS, and we are going to rip that building apart. So, with that said, I'm going to get on the road. Derek came there by threats of arms. You're absolutely right, John. And just the same, we had a hell of a good time. That judge was so pissed off. And, you know, I keep calling him a judge. They're not a judge. And they know it. They know damn good and well that they're not judges. They work for a private corporation, and they know it, and they know I know. And he didn't even take time to read the affidavit, which is really funny because in 10 days, when they do not rebut or refute that affidavit, it stands true, in fact, in law. And it's just going to be a really good time. It's going to be a really good time. So he mentioned something about limited access. Well, Derek S. Gonzalez appearing by way of affidavit is absolutely recognized. Now, whether he wants to use his opinion to sway the court or whatever, the reason you see him getting so hostile is I'm starting to push buttons on him. And I'm not talking about buttons where I'm intentionally trying to piss them off. I'm putting them in a little box where they can't get out of because they know that what they're doing is fleecing the American people. I don't like people like me that ask questions. I've got a right to a jury trial, a trial by jury. I don't have a right to 10, 15 different court dates where they use that to trump people up and gather evidence and gain knowledge. You know, I have a right
just to that, which would be a jury trial. And obviously we're in state courts, which are special proceedings, special courts. You ladies and gentlemen really need to start studying the law. I was waiting for him to call me a sovereign citizen, because the only sovereign citizen that was in that damn courtroom today was the alleged ministerial administrator. He's definitely a sovereign citizen. He's breaking laws, making rules as he goes, flying by the seat of his pants, and wearing a girl's dress to do it all. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. The sovereign citizen that was in that room did not produce his oath of office with his bond on the face of the instrument. He will have that on record. I venture to say this case will more than likely be dismissed within days. Within days. They do not want me back. He wanted to make it appear to the other people in the courtroom that I didn't know what I was talking about. He assumed and presumed jurisdiction that he does not have. He knows it. It's not on record. He proclaims he's creating the record by verbally announcing things. He's not creating shit by verbally announcing it. All records are kept in written form. So he's a bold-faced liar. Bold-faced liar. And not only that, he's a Bar Association member that has an allegiance to the court, first and foremost, above all others. He has no allegiance to the people, only the London Crown. So, ladies and gentlemen, get some balls, get a set, grab a pair. I don't give a shit what you do. Start recording these public officials and this tyrannical bullshit that they perpetuate on the American people to fleece them. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. They're stealing your children. They're hypothecating your credit. That's why I was asking for the $5,000 bond, the $10,000 bond. He knows damn good and well that I know. Hey, kick that up a bit, because I've traveled a lot, and when I cash in on that bond, I want to make sure that I'm compensated to the fullest for all my troubles. That affidavit will not be rebutted, and it very clearly states in there. In fact, let me pull over and read this affidavit to you, because it is classic, ladies and gentlemen. It's classic. And it actually goes to expose the true crimes that transpired on May 5th. So give me just a second. I'm going to pull over here so you guys can hear this affidavit, because I took a little time to write it, thanks to my trip to Bandera, Texas, where we met with a bunch of very knowledgeable people. And they said, Derek, quit being the bird that gets shot in the courtroom. Quit being that bird. So what I'm going to do for you, just bear with me here a second. You guys are going to love this. This is my affidavit that is now on record. And so it states here, the defendant identified as Derek S. Gonzalez does appear before the Kearney County Court this day of July 19th in the year of our Lord 2018 by way of sworn affidavit at or before 9 a.m. May 30th in the year of our Lord 2018. Derek Gonzalez was arrested on the People's Streets Highway 6 mile marker 177, Kearney County, Nebraska. Derek was not Mirandized by the state trooper Soltland T, badge number 379. Minden, Nebraska, Article 4, Section 50 through 53 definitions. Streets is a way or place of whatsoever nature open to the use of the public as a matter of right for the purpose of vehicular travel. The state trooper, Sherlyn T., doing business on behalf of the state of Nebraska, initiated the alleged traffic stop for lack of state plates on Derek's private consumer goods, means of private conveyance, private automobile. Derek has zero obligation duty to register private consumer goods, nor a duty to perform or register private conveyances of the modern day with the state of Nebraska or the Department of Motor Vehicles. Article 1, Section 10 of the Nebraska Constitution, Derek Gonzalez has a right to contract without state, federal, county, and or government intrusion or interference. State Trooper Shetland T called for assistance, whereas additional officers arrived on location. Officers began to violate Derek's unalienable rights to travel freely, unimpeded and unencumbered on the people's right-of-way, highways, streets, and byways. Shetland T opened Derek's automobile by way of force without consent or a warrant nor an affidavit of probable cause in support of forced entry. Sholtland T then physically assaulted Derek with multiple officers with tasers and peacemakers drawn. Derek was via cactus to contract, which means I was compelled under threat, duress, and coercion, it's Latin, with the state of Nebraska, whereas Derek was threatened by way of human trafficking should he refuse to contract with the state of Nebraska via signature. Via cactus definition is a Latin term meaning having been forced or having been compelled. Derek was released from arrest. Derek then reoccupied the automobile and once more began to travel to a destination on the People's Passages by right. Derek is competent to travel and possesses zero risk to Derek or the public on the People's Highways traveling in modern-day conveyances. The prosecuting attorney has failed to produce an affidavit from a party of interest stating that Derek Gonzalez is a danger to Derek or the people on the streets, or that Derek was acting in a manner, in such a willful, reckless manner that threatened or endangered the lives of others, or violated a man or woman's rights, causing harm, loss, injury, or damage to the party of interest. Corpus delicti, body of a crime, has not been shown, nor nature and cause been produced on the record. Jurisdiction. Derek Gonzalez was not engaged in commerce while traveling by way of highway, via private conveyance, private automobile, private consumer good. Motor Vehicle Code applies only to commerce. 17. Derek Gonzalez is noticing the court that the electronic signature has been altered, whereas the contract, bill, charges, or ticket was autographed VC Derek Chaton Gonzalez. The copy of the contract, bill, charge, or ticket does not reflect as such. Derek is well aware of the officers Sholtland T's along with other officers violated the RICO Act. Derek is well aware that, Title 18 U.S. Code 241, Conspiracy Against Rights, CFR, if two or more persons conspire to injure, oppress, threaten, or intimidate any person in any state, territory, commonwealth, possession, or district in the free state, in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the United States, or because of his having so exercised the same, or if two or more persons go in disguise on the highway or on the premises of another with the intent to prevent or hinder his free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege so secured, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 10 years or both. And if death results from the act committed in violation of this section, or in such acts include kidnapping or abuse or an attempt to kill, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for any term of years or for life or both, or may be sentenced to death. Title 18 USC Code 241. Oh, I got it on there twice. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Derek notices the court and all parties involved of the conflict of interest, whereas the alleged judge, ministerial administrator working on behalf of the state of Nebraska, as well as paid by the state of Nebraska, is also working with the prosecuting attorney who is paid by the state of Nebraska, and the state trooper who also works for the corporation known as the state of Nebraska. This is the end of it. It says, I, Derek Gonzalez, appearing by way of affidavit, affirm under the penalties of perjury, everything here within is true and correct. This day of July 19th in the year of our Lord 2018, all parties involved have 10 days to respond. So what I will do with this is now I'm going to figure out where all these little assholes live, and we're going to mail them some letters. But anyway, I'm going back to traveling safely, and love you guys all, respect you all. Thanks for joining me. And if nothing else, you got to see a man in a dress today wig out because he can't answer questions, legitimate questions. And he makes unfounded statements that assume facts not on the record. So assuming facts not on the record, I mean, please show me where you have jurisdiction. It should be established for and on the official record. So I hope when we come back next time, it is on and for the official record, and that he has it established there. It would be so wonderful to see it. But anyway, like I said, I believe in practicing what I preach, and I believe in traveling in a manner that is conducive for safe arrival and with careful consideration of others on the highways, byways, and freeways. So with that said, I will yield the floor. Please feel free to put all the questions and comments on this page you like on this video. Have a great day. We're just having fun with public officials. Remember that. That's all we're doing. Having fun with lying, looting, pandering piles of crap. And we got those assholes on the run. Amen.